Sport. Sport is all forms of usually competitive physical activity which, through causal or organized participation, aim to use, maintain, or improve physical ability and skills while providing entertainment to participants and, in some case, spectators. Hundreds of sports exist, from those requiring only two participants through to those with hundreds of simultaneous participants, either in teams or competing as individuals. Sport is generally recognized as activities which are based in physical athleticism or physical dexterity, with the largest major competitions, such as the Olympic Games, admitting only sports meeting this definition, and other organizations, such as the Council of Europe, using definitions precluding activities without a physical element from classification as sports. However, a number of competitive but non physical activities claim recognition as mind sports. The International Olympic Committee, through ARISF, recognizes both chess and bridge as bona fide sports, and Sport Accord. The International Sports Federation Association recognizes five non physical sports, although limits the amount of mind games which can be admitted as sports. Sports are usually governed by a set of rules or customs which serve to ensure fair competition and allow consistent adjudication of the winner. Winning can be determined by physical events such as scoring goals or crossing a line first, or by the determination of judges or scoring elements of the sporting performance, including objective or subjective measures such as technical performance or artistic impression. In organized sport, records of performance are often kept, and for popular sports, this information may be widely announced or reported in sports news. In addition, sport is a major source of entertainment for non participants, with spectator sport drawing large crowds to venues and reaching wider audiences without through broadcasting. According to Kearney Consultancy, the global sporting industry is worth up to $620 billion as of 2013. So read more about the word sport. Comes from the Old French desport, meaning leisure. The nomenclature of sport. American English uses sports for both terms. Describe the overall concept of multiple activities. Definition. The precise definition of what separates a sport from other leisure activities varies between sources. The closest to an international agreement on a definition is provided by Sport Accord, which is the association of all the largest international sports federations, including association football, athletics, cycling, tennis, equestrian sports, and more, and is therefore the de facto representative of international sport. Sports Accord uses the following criteria determining that a sport should have an element of competition, be in no way harmful to any living creature, not rely on equipment provided by a single supplier, not rely on any luck element specifically designed into the sport. Read about competition. There are opposing views on the necessity of competition as a defining element of a sport, with almost all professional sport involving competition and governing bodies requiring a competition as a prerequisite, a recognition by the International Olympic Committee or Sport Accord. So read about the history of sport dating back to 2000, as early as 2000 BC. There's some historical records. Read about fair play, sportsmanship. Sportsmanship is an attitude that strives for fair play, courtesy toward the teammates and opponents, ethical behavior and integrity, and grace in victory or defeat. Read about cheating. Key principles of sport include that the results should not be predetermined and both sides should have equal opportunity to win. Rules are in place to ensure that fair play to occur, but participants can break these rules in order to gain advantage. Be aware of gambling and match fixing, doping and drugs, performance enhancing drugs in sports. Violence in sports involves crossing the line between fair competition and international aggression violence. Rioting and hooliganism are common ongoing problems at national and international sporting contests. Gender participation, female participation continues to rise alongside the opportunity for involvement and the value of sports for child development and physical fitness. Youth participation, youth sports present children with opportunities for fun, socialization, forming peer relationships, physical fitness, and athletic scholarships. Activities for education and the war on drugs encourage youth sports as a means to increase educational participation and to fight the illegal drug trade. Disabled participation. Disabled sports, also adaptive sports or parasports, are sports played by persons with a disability, including physical and intellectual disabilities. Spectator involvement. The competition element of sport, along with the anesthetic appeal of some sports, result in the popularity of people attending to watch sport being played. This has led to the specific phenomenon of spectator sport. Both amateur and professional sports attract spectators both in person at the sport venue and through broadcast mediums including radio, television, and internet broadcast. Both attendance in person and viewing remotely can incur a sometimes substantial charge, such as an entrance ticket or a pay-per-view television broadcast. Issues and considerations. Amateur and professional. Sport can be undertaken on an amateur, professional, or semi-professional basis, depending on whether participants are incentivized for participation, usually through payment of a wage or salary. The popularity of spectator sport as a recreation for non-participants has led to sport becoming a major business in its own right, and this incentivized high-paying professional sport culture, or high-performing participants are rewarded with pay far in excess of average wages, which can run into millions of dollars. Read about technology. Technology plays an important part in modern sports, with it being a necessary part of some sports such as motorsport and used in others to improve performance. Sports science is a widespread academic discipline that can be applied to areas including athletic performance, such as the use of video analysis to fine-tune technique, or to equipment such as improved running shoes or competitive swimwear. Sports engineering emerged as a discipline in 1998 with an increasing focus not just on materials design, but also the use of technology in sport, from analytics and big data to wearable technology. In order to control the impact of technology on fair play, governing bodies frequently have specific rules that are set to control the impact of technical advantage between participants. Read about politics. Sports and politics can influence each other greatly. Olympics. Read also about the outline of sports, the list of sports, list of sports people, list of sports attendance figures, list of professional sports leagues, new media and sports. Read also about athletics sports, combat sports, disabled sports, electronic sports, fans, mind sport, motorsports, multi-sport events, national sport, nationalism and sports, Olympic Games, Paralympic Games, sponsorship, sport and film, sport governing bodies, sports psychology, sports clubs, sports coaching, sports commentator, sports equipment, sports fans, sports injuries, sports league attendances, sports marketing, sports terms, sports trainer, sports person, team sport, underwater sports, women's sports, water sports, winter sport. Read all about sport, sport, sport.